It's Kelly from Seaglass Salvage Market. We are live with Francis this morning in Holden Beach. For those of you who know me, you know that every weekend except the third weekend, I'm in Holden Beach with my mom. And Francis is lucky enough to live in this beautiful place. And she has invited us to spend some time with her this morning in her workshop. Francis is our Mosaic artist at Seaglass Salvage Market, and she does an amazing job. Her wheels, I feel, have become very popular. Like, people know them, and I love that. So she's working on one, and we thought it would be really cool for you to get to see her. So we're going to flip this around, and we're going to sew the wheel that she's working on. And rather than just the regular rainbow, the regular colors, where are you running to, Francis? Okay. She's doing feathers on this one, which is just amazing. And I hope you can see the great detail and colors there. They're absolutely fantastic. But here's Miss Francis.
Hello, good morning.
And we're going to just kind of sit and watch and see what she does. And I hope we don't annoy her too much. So why feathers? Like, what made you want to do something different?
Feathers have just been really popular. They just kept popping up on my Pinterest thing, and I was like, okay, maybe someday I'll think of something to do with those. And it just hit me all of a sudden one day. I thought, I could do it on a wheel, but it took some designing to figure out how to do it with using the 3 spokes instead of 2, which I usually do on my traditional color wheels. So it's been fun to play around with.
Okay.
See what happens.
The colors are gorgeous. I love it so far. So will you do this side, flip it, and then do the other side as well?
I'll do this side and flip it and do the other side. Just to start with, the wheels, this is one that's in process, and I wash the wheels and then take the copper foil.
Oh, I can see it.
This is the foil.
Okay.
And I have to put that on each of the spokes, and then take this little tool here and make sure it's stuck down on, on everything.
It looks really cool just with that.
Yeah.
I love it.
So everything that's how the solder stays. It adheres to the copper.
Okay, and I was actually going to ask that because I was curious how you get it to stay on there. I don't know anything about I mean, I have a general idea about how regular mosaic art works with the grouting, but this is very different.
This is different. This is more traditional, although I have to say I'm probably not traditional. I don't really use patterns, and most people do.
So you do like a freehand and you create
my own pattern.
Do you create it as you go, or do you have it in your head?
Sometimes, and I've done some of the flowers with the agates, and when I'm using that as the center, I will just create the petals around it, and I'll just lay it down. And I have a basic design to start with, and sometimes I just keep adding and little pieces that I end up, after I've cut, I'll have, something like this, and I'll say, oh, look, that
fits
fit
perfect.
Right and that's kind of how it works with the windows and the grouting too. I don't ever, when I do a window, I'll change to the window for a minute. When I do a window, I just take a dry erase pen and draw what I want on the back of the window, and then I just eyeball it. I just say, okay, I need a piece cut sort of in this shape, and I'll cut it.
Okay, so you don't like smash glass and then create a jigsaw puzzle. You actually create your pieces. Okay, that makes, because I always wonder, like, it must take forever to find the right piece, but if you're creating the pieces, it's got to be a little easier at least.
And with traditional, what you would do is take the pattern and cut it out. Well, use tracing paper and trace it 3 times, and then cut out one piece and you number each piece
Okay.
that fits, and number it on another piece, and then you use that as your pattern to lay down, and what you have cut, then you would use that as to be able to cut the glass.
Right.
And
so there's a lot. It's a lot.
It is.
So when you're in here, do you listen to the birds and the crickets, or do you play music, or?
A lot of times I play music and listen to podcasts and
Okay.
kind of
And get in your own zone.
get in. Yeah, I'm totally in my own zone.
So
it is
it's got to
nothing-
be relaxing, even though, I mean, I would find it stressful because I don't have the creative talent, but for someone who does have that natural ability, it must be, you know, like you living in your own little world for a little while.
Yeah, it does. It totally takes me to another place, and I'll end up coming here after work and spend 3 or 4 hours sometimes and look at my watch and go, hey, what time did I start? It cannot be. But then when I stand up, I go, oh yeah, it did. Because I'm kind of
Hunched over.
Like this, so.
Alrighty. So how long does it take you to, and I know all the wheels are different. So this wheel in particular, each feather, and like you told me prior to us getting on the live, that it took a minute for you to figure them out, and then you kind of get in a zone with them. So how long does it take you just to complete just the feather? Not even the prep. Just, is it soldering? You solder the feather on?
Mm-hmm. It takes me probably an hour and a half to 2 hours just to get that done.
Right.
Because with the cutting, what I've had to do with this one is make a little
Oh, I was just going to say, I see a little pattern
a little
there.
line pattern here, so that I can
Fill in. Well, you need
so
them
I
to
can
be
cut it. So I
the
would
same
just-
size at
right.
least.
So I would just take the piece of glass and use my and then this was probably one of the most amazing things to me. I guess before I started doing glass, I thought it was really.
I'm going to pull this
had to have
chair
a
out of
lot
the
of-
way so I can. Oh, maybe not.
I
just want to see
yeah.
you cut it. So
I was so surprised. This is what you cut it with, and it looks
yeah.
like nothing. And you just score.
Oh,
you
wow.
Hear that little,
Yes, I
and
did.
That's what you want to hear. And then these are called running pliers, and it just cuts
And
like
that's
that.
it.
If anything isn't quite to shape, I have a grinder over here that I can use.
Oh, okay. So you have a lot of little tools and
Tools.
tricks and
Mhm.
ways to figure it all out.
So once I do this and cut it, then I would wash it, especially if I've had to grind it. And those are just breaking pliers.
How are you not a bloody mess? I would, I would be a mess.
Most of the glass cuts really easily. Some pieces, especially the iridescent, shatters or splits.
Oh, okay.
And I can't tell you how many times I have like stabbed myself.
Oh my.
You know, this is skin shield.
We keep that very handy, I see.
Handy, and I always have lots of
Paper towels.
Paper towels.
Oh, that's too funny.
I always say if you've bought some of my art that you've got my DNA definitely somewhere. Right?
Whether it be tears or blood, there's
Yeah.
something. So we wanted to know if we could watch you a little bit this morning. Would that be okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So after I wash the glass, I actually put it on a heating pad to heat it up. Even in the summer, even in this heat, because the foil will not really adhere to it very well unless it's heated. And then you just kind of half and half. This, to me, this is the most important part here, It's getting that first initial, yep, that's what happens. First, especially when you're live.
Live on Facebook.
And a little bit shaky.
You get to see the bloopers, people. And if it would help if I would actually put it on your hands. I'm like so busy watching you outside the camera that I didn't even have the camera on you.
Well, it's definitely not going to stick. Sometimes when that happens, it's more the foil.
I love the foil. Just the look of the foil is cool.
Yeah, it's that pretty copper, but that's going to go away when we put the solder on. So you can see I'm kind
So
of
that's
I'm
what
kind
the
of working
the
it
solder sticks to that.
to this.
Not to the glass, but to the tape that you're applying.
Right. And then just make sure that it's even. I want to make sure it's even all the way around.
Okay.
And then I have to use this little tool and really get it stuck on there. And the glue on the foil, once it heats up and the glass heats up, really helps it stick. I've had one day last week it was so hot and I came in and I had one of the colored feathers done, ready to go on, and I put the whole thing on except for the last two bottom feathers and realized that I had put it right next to another colored one.
Oh, you had to take it off?
And so I was like,
Oh my.
okay, don't work when you're...
After a long day.
And so this would then... And I have lots of little pins and things.
All those expensive little gadgets that you purchase.
And the interesting thing with the wheels are sometimes it doesn't want to stick. This is a soldering iron, and this is flux. And I just very lightly put the flux all around, and then take the solder and melt it.
That is so cool.
Whoops.
And then you cover the tape completely so you don't see it anymore, or most of it
Completely
anymore.
covered up. No, it will all be completely silver. And then each of the edges get done, and then the back side. So as you can see, it takes a little bit of time to get it just right.
I love that you pick it up and that you don't waste it, that you grab every little piece that you
I
can.
do that, and I try to do that with the glass too. I have lots of every.
And that's it, it's just on.
It's on
Now, how long, does it need to cure, or is it as soon as it cools?
No, it just cools and that's it.
That is so cool.
I have lots of little pieces.
Oh, wow.
And once this container gets full, I will go through it and sort each color.
Oh, wow. Oh, I see. Look, she has blues and greens and neutrals. She has a ton of glass down here, too, as well.
And these are all separated. These are all the glass addiction.
They're fun. I love all the colors.
This is all the stained glass for doing what I do with this.
Okay.
I was lucky enough in the fall to be able to purchase a woman who was no longer going to do fused glass. I purchased her 2 kilns and all of her fusing glass, which is different and cannot be mixed with this glass.
See, so glass isn't glass then.
Glass isn't glass.
I just assumed you could use any glass.
So
I didn't even realize
over
that.
Here.
So that is fused glass, you're saying, right?
That is fused glass. And so fused glass will only fuse to fused glass.
Okay. And regular
And
glass
regular glass
will fuse to metal or whatever you decide to put it on?
If I was to fuse this regular glass, this would fuse to this piece, but I couldn't combine these 2 pieces.
Isn't that so crazy?
Or it would break.
That's wild. Learn something new every day, I'll tell you. Okay, so we can find your art. Well, first, big move this month.
Yeah.
So for those of you who come to Seaglass and have seen Francis's art, it's been in the back room since the beginning. We moved from one wall to the other, but you've always been in the back room. We had mentioned on our other coffee break with Elaine that Elaine is moving into a bigger spot and she wanted someone to share her space with, and immediately thought that it would be wonderful to have some very pretty art for her to look at every day. So we discussed it with Francis, and Francis is going to be Elaine's space mate. And for those of you who do come to the market, you'll know that you probably don't get to see Francis very often at the market because she works full-time, and your job usually is on the weekends. What do you do here in Holden Beach?
I'm a massage therapist.
And do you own your own space?
I do. I have Forget-Me-Not Massage here in Holden Beach, and I've been doing this about 12 years.
Okay. So we'll make sure that we get a link in the comments for that, so you know where you can find Francis when she's not creating beautiful art. She is making you feel fabulous here in Holden Beach. So you have a space in Holden Beach, but do you also travel?
I go as much as I can to tourists, mostly during the tourist season.
So if someone rents a house in Holden Beach and they want, it's a girls' weekend and they want to have somebody come in rather than them come to you, you'll go to them. That's fun. Where else can we find your art besides Seaglass?
There is a sweet little art and wine shop here in Holden Beach on the Causeway. It's Katie Morris Art and Wine.
Okay.
And she has lots of wine and lots of awesome art. Really unusual, interesting things.
Awesome. I passed there. I'm not gonna fib and say that I've been. I haven't. I've been meaning to go. I will make it a point to go. We should go for a glass of wine.
Yeah,
but I will also put a link for it's KD Morris. I'll put a link for that as well in the comments. So if you're down in Holden Beach, or if you're visiting, or if you feel like doing a little day trip, it's a great place to visit. And I just want to say thank you for letting us come and see your space and see your amazing art as it's being created. And I cannot wait to see the finished product.
Me too.
Alrighty, we will see you soon.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.